This is Leo Cloutier with Malice to None. We're here in Memorial Stadium in Baltimore today, and it's indeed a pleasure to have as our guest a friend of long-standing, one of the outstanding left-handed pitchers in the game for many years. I'd like to welcome to our show the colorful and inimitable Lefty Gomez. Welcome, Lefty.
Leo, it's nice seeing you again.
Well, it's certainly nice to see you, Lefty. Lefty, your coming over here certainly must bring back memories of great years.
Yes, it does. I remember, of course, it goes back longer than I'd like to mention. My first World Series was 1932, and of course I was very fortunate to have a Ruth and Gehrig and Lazario on that ball club, and then later play in, I believe it was 8 World Series altogether, yeah.
And Lefty, over that period of time, didn't you win something like 7 games and did not lose any?
No, I hold a record, Leo, being lucky, of 6 victories and no defeats. And but you have to be lucky to get in that many games and have a team that scores runs and that makes you a success.
You know, you also have to have the talent and the ability, which of course you had. Lefty, you had some great fellows when you mentioned such ball players as Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Tony Lazzari, fellows of that caliber.
Yeah, we had Bill Dickey, Charlie Ruffing, Herb Pennock, Wade Hoyt, and Joe Dugan and Frankie Corsetti and Ben Chapman, Earl Coombs. We had a pretty good ball club, I'll tell you that.
I guess you did. And you also had another young fellow who came up about that time, or shortly thereafter, and I'm sure you had the pleasure of playing with him, and that was Red Rolfe from Pennacook, New Hampshire.
Oh, yes, he came up in the 36, I believe, or 34, somewhere in there. And Red was a great third baseman also, along with this fellow here at Baltimore, Brooks Robinson. Red, they were 2 different type of ball players. Red was a type of singles and doubles hitter, more or less. This guy has a little bit more power, but they were both great third basemen and wonderful guys too.
Yeah, weren't they though? Lefty, there were many memorable occasions during the World Series, of course, which you'll long remember. But how about that one with an airplane going above your head, flying above your head, and you're stopping the game so you could take a gander at it? Would you tell us something about that?
Well, I was in 36 in the Polo Grounds, and airplanes weren't as common as they are now, and I don't know, I had the bases loaded, and Millot was the hitter, and this airplane flew over, and so I backed off the rubber and was watching the airplane, which meant that I was safe because I had the ball in my hand. And they couldn't hit it before I threw it, and a lot of people thought that I was very cool doing that, but I didn't think so. I just had a hold of the ball, and it was one of those things that happened. You know the funny thing, Leo, of all the games I ever pitched, more people remember that one. I think it was the only one I ever pitched, believe me.
And yet the records show that you won 6.
That's right.
Well, Lefty, it certainly has been a pleasure talking to you here today, and I certainly want to thank you very much for this interview, and I want to wish you and your fine family and the Wilson Sporting Goods Company success for many, many, many years.
Thank you, Leo. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, Lefty. This was an interview with Lefty Gomez, the former New York Yankee great, and now affiliated with the Wilson Sporting Goods Company, and this brings us to the end of With Malice to None from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.